What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about some great wide receiver speed and agility drills that will get you faster and help you become a better athlete. Let's get started. So this first drill, you guys, is going to be called our kneeling drive drill. So this is going to help with wide receivers getting speed out of the top of their breaks, because this is exactly what your foot is supposed to do when you are making a single leg cut. So I'm talking a speed cut or a stick cut, which is where you put your foot in the ground and just push off like a post or a corner. So one of the mistakes receivers will make is, like, let's say I got to run like a 10-yard out at this red cone here, and I got to cut at this red cone. So they'll cut off of their left foot. They want to break to the outside, but instead of pushing off of this left foot, what they'll do is they will just turn their head and almost stand up and try to manually run out of the break, which creates a lot of wasted time at the top of the break. What we want to do, and we're going to get into the drill in a second, and we will show you a full speed example of that drill in a second so you know what to do. But when you cut here, you guys want to push off of the middle arch of your foot. So like we see on these cleats where this Adidas logo is, that's where we want to push off of. Think of it like a pitcher pushing off of the rubber. So you cut here, you want to push off of that middle arch so we get some speed and keep the speed out of the break that I had into the break. So this drill works on that. So all you're going to do, guys, is you're going to be on one knee and you're going to work 8 reps on each leg. So 8 reps on the left, 8 reps on the right. And you're going to start out with the foot that's up, and you're going to be bursting off of this foot. You want this foot to start out just slightly to the right of the cone. You're going to take a step onto the opposite side of the cone to where your middle arch is even with the left side of the cone. So it's going to be this. That's all it is. But when you hit that step, the second that foot hits the ground, you are going to push off of it, open up your hips, and accelerate out for about 10 yards. Maybe like 5 to 10 yards, depending on the amount of space that you are working with. So that type of drill forces us to have to push off of my foot exactly how I would do at the top of the route, and creates that muscle memory that I need for faster cuts. Now, fellas, before we show you that drill full speed, if you are a wide receiver or even a quarterback watching this video and you would like to train with myself and my staff of coaches, we are going to be traveling out to 7 more states across the entire country for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver training camps. So guys, if you would like to sign up, go to that very first link in the description below. The states and cities we will be coming to are Birmingham, Alabama, then we'll be coming out to Newark, New Jersey, Houston, Texas, Boston, Massachusetts, Columbus, Ohio, Boise, Idaho, and then finishing off our tour in Los Angeles, California. So guys, if you want some more information, want to sign up, we're coming to a city local to you, go to that very first link in the description below. Our Houston camp and our Columbus camp are completely sold out, and the rest of our camps will be sold out extremely soon, fellas. We only have about 3 to 4 spots remaining for those camps. So if you guys would like to attend, guys, make sure you're not lagging on this, because once our spots are gone, they are gone. So go to that very first link in the description below. We'd love to see you there. So this next drill, you guys, is going to be something called a straight-legged run. So same thing, I'm going to explain why this helps wide receivers with speed, some of the bad habits I see wide receivers do that will cause a lack of speed that this drill can correct, and then we'll obviously give you the exact sets and reps to do, and then we're going to give you a full speed example of the drill. So the straight-legged run is exactly how it sounds. You're literally going to run, but your legs are going to stay straight. So I think a lot of times, like, receivers will be running a fade ball's thrown over their shoulder, and they'll end up like running like really like flat-footed almost. Like they'll be looking for the ball, and like their foot, whenever they cut, it's almost like they strike the ground on the ball of their foot, and then their heel starts to cave down, and they run very flat-footed. So whenever we run, you guys, you want to try to stay on the ball of your foot. Not your tippy toes, but the ball of your foot. And when you strike the ground, you don't want your heel to cave down. You want to have nice, stable ankles. You want to have a strong calf so you could drive up and shoot up your opposite knee and opposite toe for speed. So this drill kind of forces us to be in that magic spot on the ball of my foot. So you're going to do this for about a 5-yard space. You're going to try to get as many reps in as you can. You're going to have a slight lean forward. Weight's going to be on the ball of your foot. Your legs are going to be straight, and you are just going to run. Make sure you are breathing on this drill. A lot of guys like to hold their breath, and you're going to be here, straight-legged run. So if your heel caves down, you're not going to be able to do this drill. But if you stay on the ball of your foot, you could do this drill all day long. So you might feel it in your calf, might feel it in your ankle. That is a good thing. So straight-legged run, we're going to be doing 5 sets of 5 yards, as many reps as you can, and we're going to show you how that should look full speed. Now this next drill, fellas, is going to be our snap fall 2-step drive break. So essentially what we're working on is when wide receivers drop their hips on routes like digs or out routes, and they don't push out. So let's talk about it. It's really honestly the same problem that we talked about in that very first drill. So that kneeling drive drill, right? So when you're getting up to a route, you don't want to cut and then just stand up and look. You want to cut and push out. Now that's for like a single leg cut. What about when you drop your hips? So let's say I got to run a dig this way, quarterback's off to my left, and let's say I break down on my inside foot. I drop my hips and I break down. A lot of guys can drop their hips, but then what happens is that they'll take a couple extra steps, and they pop up, and then they try to run out of the brake. We still got to be able to drive, you guys. So we're going to be working on a square cut brake, which is essentially a two-step brake where you drop your hips and you use it on 90-degree cuts like digs or out routes. So what we want to do is we want to drop on this inside foot, but this outside foot has got to step inside of my frame, and I got to push off that inside arch, just like we talked about on that single leg cut. So this drill kind of works on that, or it does work on that, I should say. So we're going to be doing 5 to 6 reps to the left, 5 to 6 reps to the right, and we'll of course show you full speed what this should look like. But your hand's going to be down by your side. You're going to raise up on your toe. You're just going to fall forward. It's like those falling starts that you see a lot of speed trainers do. But what we're doing, hands by my side, falling forward. You're going to catch yourself and drop. Second step's going to be here. Push out and try to accelerate as fast as we possibly can and rip my arms to get me used to how I have to do that square cut when I'm running a full route. Why do we lean into it and why do we fall? Because that's essentially, I would say, what you do going into a break. If I'm running a 10-yard dig, I want to sell vertical, dude. I want my chest to be slightly ahead of my waist. I'm here, then I drop. So you're essentially falling into the break anyways. So we're trying to replicate that with less mileage on my legs without running. We're working on speed and driving in and out of my cuts. So I'm going to show you how this drill should look full speed.